Do you know you could have kidney disease and not even know it? 9 out of 10 people who have stage 3 chronic kidney disease do not know it. The rate of kidney failure for African Americans is 3 times higher than among Caucasians. And one reason for this is that they are not aware when they have earlier stages of kidney disease. At a time, treatment could prevent the damage from progressing to the point when dialysis or kidney transplantation is necessary. In addition, due to high rates of diabetes, high blood pressure, and heart disease, Blacks and African Americans have an increased risk of developing kidney failure. African Americans need to be aware of these risk factors and visit their doctor or clinic regularly to check their blood sugar, blood pressure, urine protein, and kidney function. Be aware. Get tested. The life you save may be your own. For more information, contact urbankidneyalliance.org.
Excuse me. Hello, everybody. It's your Uncle Jim. How are you? For the first time tonight on our show, we're going to talk about pediatric kidney patients. So I want you to meet the man that I consider to be the Dean of Pediatric Kidney Advocates, Mr. Edward Wynot Drake. Edward was an active 20-year-old at the height of his athletic career and living out his dream playing collegiate football. His life changed when, during a routine physical, doctors were alarmed by his dangerously low blood pressure and rushed him to the emergency room. Edward went from the football field to the hospital bed after doctors diagnosed him with renal disease or kidney failure. Within weeks, Edward was adjusting to the routine of dialysis, and his name was placed on a waiting list for a kidney transplant. He attended dialysis 3 times a week and was unable to resume his physical activities that he enjoyed so much. In the weeks ahead of his diagnosis, Edward questioned why he was chosen to fight this battle. But as time passed, he began to rethink the curveball that life had thrown him. And instead of focusing on why me, he thought, why not me? And a new dream was formed. Quote, "The pain, fear, and confusion of my diagnosis, along with my passion to help youth like myself, inspired me to form the Why Not Foundation, Youth Needing Organ and Tissue Transplants. The Why Not Foundation is dedicated to raising donor awareness and educating our youth on healthy habits and assisting youth and their family emotionally and financially. It is our goal to decrease the total number of deaths yearly of individuals in need of transplants nationwide caused by a lack of donors. On October 8th 2008, Edward received the life-changing call that led to his kidney transplant. He not only received a new kidney, but a new outlook on life. Each day, Edward is encouraged by the legacy of his donor and knows together we can make a difference. If you go to his website, it's very inspiring. There's a quote there. Quote, "Some men see things as they are and say, why? I dream things that never were and say, why not?" Unquote. Robert F. Kennedy. Mission statement. The Why Not Foundation committed to providing support to pediatric transplant patients, increasing awareness about the need for organ and tissue donation, and promoting health prevention and wellness in the community. What we provide. Our organization educates pediatric transplant patients on the importance of staying compliant both pre and post-transplant and improving their overall transition to adult care. We host many kinds of health awareness events in the community to educate people on healthy lifestyle choices and other preventive measures. We seek to reduce childhood obesity, and improve youth fitness and nutrition. Lastly, we actively encourage and promote organ and tissue donation in the community. The slogan, why not brighten a child's day? Our guiding vision is to brighten the lives of children who have experienced organ failure and other life-threatening illnesses. Ladies and gentlemen, we have with us tonight the inspiring Edward, Mr. Why Not, Drake. Edward, how you doing tonight?
Uncle Jim, how are you, sir? Such an amazing introduction. I was looking like, who is he talking about? But but thank you so much for having me on. A big salute to Mr. Steve Belcher for the amazing work that he and the rest of you all are doing at Urban doing on here.
Media.
And, I commend you all. Commend you also. Yeah.
Right. Mr. Steve's producing the show tonight, so anything goes wrong, we're going to blame him. All right.
Yes, sir.
Well, this is kidney story, so let's get right into your kidney story, Edward.
Yeah.
You were a college student playing out your dream of playing college football. Can you tell us what happened?
Yes, sir. Like, more importantly, I was a college student trying to become the first college graduate in my family, which is what I take a lot more pride in than the athlete side. But yeah, on routine physical, it was my sophomore year. I just had transferred into Eastern Michigan and doing a routine physical. The doctors were alarmed by my blood pressure reading, which was, I believe, it was like 248/119 at the time. And then I was seeing a pediatric doctor at the time, and so I was seeing a pediatric doctor, but then I was lifting weights. So they said, let us get you an adult blood pressure cuff, which, you know, I took which I smiled about. But yeah, they put an adult cuff on me, and still the same high reading showed up. And I just remember being rushed, you know, to the hospital, and you know, a lot was going on during that time. And yeah, I just got the disturbing news about kidney failure. You know? So yeah, I was already in kidney failure.
All right. When you were playing football, what position were you playing?
I went there to play safety. Like I said, I got sick just before fall camp, so unfortunately, I never got a chance to make turn that dream all the way into reality. But yeah, I definitely got recruited to play safety.
And the hospital we're talking about, that's St. Vincent's in Toledo, Ohio?
Yes, sir. That's where I'm from. I'm from Toledo, Ohio. So yeah, I was just at home training with one of my buddies, Greg Schoenbeck. Salute to him out in Charlotte. But yeah, I was at home training with one of my buddies, and he kept on beating me, like beat me in a race, and I'm like, man, this ain't normal. I knew something should have been wrong right then when he was beating me, and he kept on beating me in 40s and bragging, and and that was the first sign that something was going on. So no,
Okay.
I love the grid, but yeah.
You're breaking up a little bit, Edward.
Okay.
Could you do us a favor? Could you log off and log back in?
Yes, sir. Hold on one
People
second.
want to hear you.
Yes, sir. Hold on one second.
Well, any rate, going to be an interesting talk tonight. Edward is a great advocate for pediatric patients. You know, he was only 20 years old when he went through this high blood pressure thing, 148 over 120. He was being taken care of by a pediatric doctor at the time. He tells us he was rushed to the hospital, St. Vincent's in Toledo, Ohio. They found out that his kidneys had failed. He completely shut down. And they, told him, you're going to have to go on dialysis tomorrow. We're not going to waste any time. So this is a very typical kidney story where someone has some minor problem and they don't realize that they're in kidney failure. And of course, something goes wrong. That what your Uncle Jim has always described for you before is they fall out of bed, they don't feel well, they go to the doctor, and they find out that they're very sick. And the next day, they're on dialysis, and that is exactly what happened to our friend Edward. He, as I said in the introduction, he has turned this lemon into lemonade. There he is.
Awesome.
Ed, you're back.
Great. Yeah, I was downstairs hanging out with the family, but I came up to my office, so hopefully we'll have better luck. But
okay.
Yeah, my apologies. But we're gonna still have a great time. Thank you.
I was telling the folks you're only 20 years old
Yes,
when this happened, right?
Yes, sir. Only 20. Yeah.
What did the doctors tell you about going back to school, continuing to play football that fall or any other time? What did they tell you about that?
It really hit me what was going on. My kids not I was
still breaking up. Still breaking up.
Okay.
Wow, and frozen now too. Try to log on and log back. Oh, there he is. You all right?
Is this better?
A little trouble. You're kind of breaking up a little bit.
Awesome. Is this better?
That's better. I can
hear
you.
I cut off my Wi-Fi. Yeah. So,
okay. All right. So I was asking you about what the doctor said about continuing to go back to school and continuing to play college football. You had told us you were the first in your family to go to college, right?
Yes, sir. I was the first, at least that I know of, in my immediate family. Yes, sir.
In the nuclear family. Okay.
Yes,
what did they tell you about going back to school and playing football?
Like I said, it really hit me. Like I said, so much happened all at once. It all literally happened in like a day that I literally went from working out to getting the news that my kidneys shut down and or were not failing, but had already failed, and that I would have to start dialysis. And I was just like yada yada. It was just sounded like doctor talk, medical talk, But it really hit me when I asked the doctor, will I be okay to go back to school the upcoming year and attend summer camp? And they told me not only will I not be able to go back to school, but I'll never be able to continue pursuing my dream of playing ball again, and that I'll be placed on dialysis and my name will be put on a transplant waiting list. So that's when it really hit me. So,
okay.
So yeah.
Can you describe your feelings at that point in time? What was going on in your head?
Like the feelings are still very raw, still to this day, working so hard up to that point to even put myself in a position, like I said, to most importantly, be a student, becoming the first college graduate. Like I said, I emphasize student because I tell all these kids that I mentor now, the athlete side is cool, but sometimes that take away that your books never go nowhere, which is why I'm still here. Like you say, your knowledge never go. I mean, sports can leave, but but I'm still here because of my education. But yeah. So sorry, I lost track of your question. I just wanted to make sure I
Okay.
got that out. Uh-huh.
All right. Let me make sure I clear something up for our audience too.
Uh-huh.
Your kidneys failed because of high blood pressure. It wasn't related to anything else.
No, sir. I still don't have a clear diagnosis of why my kidneys failed. They diagnosed me with glomerulonephritis, but they still don't have a blood pressure wasn't the issue. My blood pressure shot up as a result of my kidneys, which had already failed, and the toxins had shot up my blood pressure. But yeah, I never had high blood pressure. I had to get physicals often, from being an athlete all my life. So I never had I never had high blood pressure, but the toxins in my body is what shot my blood pressure up, So that's when they even thought to send me to the hospital to get more tests, which is why I'm big on prevention and wellness. Because I mean, I was telling them one thing I did notice, Jim, is that I was gaining a lot of weight, but I just thought it was from working out. I'm taking my shirt off, and even my mom was like, "Ooh, you getting big?" And I'm walking around with my shirt off, not knowing that I was retaining water. So
Yeah.
so yeah, so that was the first sign looking back that I was retaining water and that I had an itching sensation in my body, and I would let the doctor know, but they would come in, hit me on the knee, look at my ears, and say you're fine. They didn't really get blood tests, but it took my blood pressure shooting up to those heights for them to even dig deeper, and by then it was too late. My kidneys had already failed.
Yeah, I have a note, 148 over 120. Does that sound familiar?
Yes, sir. Yeah, like I said, it was back in 2006, so I know it was in the 240s, 230s, 240, and I know that high number was very high. It had to be like it was over 100 something. So I'll have to look back through my history, but I know it was in the twos and the bottom number was in the ones.
Okay. I just wanted to point out your kidneys didn't fail because any steroids or drugs or anything related to your athletic career.
No, sir. No, sir. The only thing that I took was like like a whey protein to help me bulk up, but yeah, no type of steroids or nothing like that. And yeah, I don't know. It's just
okay.
Looking back on it, it's just fate because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now if all that wouldn't have happened. But but I still don't know the true cause, nor do the doctors. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you started dialysis in the hospital then in 2006. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I started it in a hospital. Yeah, while I was still admitted. Uh-huh.
How many days were you hospitalized?
During that time, ooh, Jim, you making me dig deep in this skull. But I probably was hospitalized for at least about 5-6 days, if I recall correctly, between my diagnosis and starting dialysis and having to stick the catheters or not catheters, the catheter for me to do dialysis.
Enough.
So, yeah. So yeah.
So when you started dialysis, you started in-center dialysis, is that right?
Yes, sir. I started in-center dialysis. Once I got out the hospital, I transferred over to a Fresenius unit near my mother's house. And yeah, the worst part of it was, you go from being a active college student, to stuck back home with my mom, and I come from a single parent household, so I had to be like the man of the house. I had to like take care of my little brother. It was just me and my little brother in the house. So my mom working, trying to provide a great life for us, which to this day, is why my goal is to take care of her one day financially. But I go away to college and then have to go back, then come back home. And that be the reason why. I mean, it was horrible. I don't know what was worse, coming back home or the kidney disease or dialysis. So I'm just being honest. I don't know what was worse.
Yeah.
Although I love my mom, but I didn't want to come back home. I didn't want to come back home for that very reason. I had to make a way, pave the way so others in my family can follow behind. So yeah.
Right. When you started at Fresenius in center, this was as an adult patient, correct?
Yes, sir. I was still 20 on dialysis. Yes, sir, at that Fresenius unit. shout out to them, man. Like I said, they treated me well in Toledo. So when I go back home, I still got a buddy, Ruben. Uh, I know he's on Facebook. He might see it. Who I was in there with. He was the only younger guy, and I think he was about 7, 8 years older than me. But yeah. Uh-huh.
Tell me what your impressions were of the adult center. What did you see going on there while you were there?
Uncle Jim, I just seen like my life has stopped. Like everything in there has stopped. Some people was in there trying to get off. Other people had accepted their fate on being on dialysis, and and they're drinking Pepsis, and eating all sorts of stuff. And uh, one thing that still burns with me in this day and hurts is that I had got cool with with someone who I call my grandmother next to me, and she went to the hospital. I came in, and I was the youngest person in there at 20, and I'm an adult. And I came in, and this lady was probably in her 60s, and I was like, "What happened to I forgot her name." And she went to the hospital. And next thing I know, then on that Friday, because I was going Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I asked about her on that Friday, and they said she had died. And I seen a couple of those occurrences that happened. And being 20, I'm thinking like, in my mind, I'm thinking I'm about to hurry up and get out of here and stuff like that. And people going to the hospital and dying. So of course, I mean, it turned. I don't know. I mean, why me, Lord? Why now? My life. I was seeing all my buddies in college still living their dreams and stuff like that, and I was just stuck at home and going to this dialysis center from like 5 to 9 p.m. in the middle of the summer, and on this Reno diet, which sucked. I couldn't eat pizza. I remember being so dehydrated and wanting to drink fluid so bad because they had you on a fluid restriction that I used to make myself regurgitate, so I can drink some more. It was horrible, man. It was horrible. I mean, but yeah, it was horrible. I'll be honest, it was horrible. But I mean, it made me who I am. Looking back, I recognize my strength, But yeah, I couldn't think nothing but why me, Jim? Why me? As I was in that dialysis, and it still brings back like that pain as I'm talking about it. Yeah. So.
You came to a point though where you had sort of a revelation, an epiphany, if you will. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just being in there and just like, Lord, why me? Why now? It's like, I'm seeing people continue to live their dreams and, doing all this other stuff. And, and I'm just stuck in here. And like, I don't know what's going to happen. I mean, I don't know when I'm going to get my transplant, all that stuff. And people who I thought loved me so much. I thought they were like, oh, your family members could get tested. And I thought, I didn't think I was going to be on dialysis as long as I was, but you find out the toughest people in your family and your friends, they scared of needles. So, I mean, everybody wasn't getting tested like I thought they would, and, I kind of harbored that in me a while. Like, man, like if that was you, I would have got tested. But, like the Lord worked that out the way, it had to work out, like looking back at it in hindsight. But, I was still stuck in there, and some of my family and friends, they weren't even following through with going to get tested. They felt sorry for me, but words are meaningful, actions are powerful. They wasn't seeing through with the testing, which I still love them to this day. I learned how to let it go. It's just God's faith. But yeah, I was just like, why me? Until the Lord kind of put in my spirit, son, why not you? Basically what I had planned for my life, which is to be this great student athlete and to go on and maybe I always wanted to be an executive at Nike or own a team. Like I said, I never really thought about the NFL or anything like that. I wasn't Ohio State good, the Ohio State good, but but I always thought about, I always wanted to be an executive at Nike or Under Armour. Salute to them, Adidas. Why not sponsor us? But but yeah, I always wanted to be an executive there. But I say the Lord took me off that college campus in a sporting battlefield and put me on a battlefield of saving lives. And 13 years later, I mean, something that he birthed through me, a vision that he birthed through me, has impacted so many other lives and has spurned so many other opportunities outside of my foundation. So it all worked out. But I mean, during that time, I mean, when the Lord said, why not you? He kind of like my attitude changed. So when I was on dialysis, my attitude kind of helped increase my altitude in life. You know what I mean? I stopped complaining. You know what I mean? Then I start wanting to give back because I realized that it could always be worse. Like I said, I thank God that they caught. I started thinking, I thank God that they caught my kidney failure when they caught it, because silent or high blood pressure is a silent killer, and it could have took me out, because I really didn't know what was going on, or I didn't know what was going on to that extent. And I mean, for me to go to the hospital at the right time, and it's like, it's God, man, it's fate. I'm a very spiritual person.
So this inspired you to start the Why Not Foundation, youth needing
Yes, sir.
organ and tissue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And even how that happened, like the why me became a why not, and like I said, the Lord or connected me with so many amazing individuals when I was still at home. Still to this day, several of them on our board, and they still within our team. And it's 13 years later. I started Why Not in 2007, and 2007 officially. So we were working before that, but yeah, and we started by just going to children's hospitals and working with these kids, because one of the toughest situations was everyone was like, "You're so young, you're this and that," or "You must be drinking," or "You must have did something to destroy this," or "You must have took steroids." And I was like, if you look at my skinny self, don't get me wrong, I had an eight pack, and all these guns, but if I took steroids, I must be taking a generic version. You know what I mean? Because I didn't look like nobody on steroids. But the pain. I'm like, while I'm going through all this, people are asking like dumb questions, and just asking dumb or hurtful questions. Let me rephrase that. Hurtful questions, like that. But like I said, I start seeing other people, when I stopped complaining, I start seeing kids who was going through the situation, and I was like, well, I'm complaining because I didn't get to see my college football situation through, or I had to leave campus. But thank God, like some of my teammates within the organization, they went through it almost all their life, so they didn't get to really experience a normal prom and to play high school sports, and run around and chase girls in 8th grade, and stuff like that. They didn't really get to have that normal childhood. And I was like, so instead of me complaining about what I didn't get to do, instead of me counting my problems, I started counting my blessings. And and like I said, I truly changed my life, Jim, because it's so much too that we can complain about in general, but it's so much also to be thankful for, because it could always be worse. So yeah.
Right. So the Why Not Foundation, you guys are based out of Ohio and Georgia, correct?
Yes, sir. Ohio is where I'm from. I reside in Georgia with my family, but like I said, Ohio, I'm still back and forth. You know what I mean? But yeah, we started in on the Ohio State campus. Shout out to everyone who was with me from the start. I'll spend hours. I mean, we got hundreds of people who've been with us since the very beginning, and as I call it, laid a brick. You know what I mean? And I love y'all. That's why call me anytime. But we started on the Ohio State campus on 8th Street, and I would like to especially shout out my best friend, Stephen Curry. He connected me with one of his frat brothers, Mr. Potts, who was an attorney, and he helped us set up our LLC, and so many other people who came in and who was intrigued by the story, people who I couldn't afford, accountants, and Mr. Wells, thank you. You know what I mean? People, executives, they heard about the story, and they helped us really just build this thing up. And you know what I mean? And without them and so many others, I would not be here. So, but we started on the Ohio State campus. Shout out to them. I didn't have an office, right? I didn't even go to Ohio State, but they allowed me to come on a campus. Everybody thought I went to Ohio State because they allowed me to rent out rooms, and girls that I may have been dating at the time or whatnot would like bring me in to speak to their student organizations. And I mean, I'm telling you, Jim, if I tell you, I couldn't. Sometimes I sit back and I mean, if you look around I'm just in my home office, and I got like pictures of different kids and stuff like that over the years. But I mean, I couldn't have painted this picture even if I wanted to, man. Like all the amazing people like Ohio State, they adopted me into their family and still invite me to this day to come back to alumni stuff. And
I see pictures of you on campus.
Yeah. I mean, like anytime I go back, it's like, and I just got my transplant at the medical center and did so much. But so yeah, Ohio State We did a lot of work at Ohio State, like in hosting parties. We used to host like parties, say, come party for a cause, and raising awareness about organ and tissue donations. So many students would come, raise money for kids. So we also got other college kids to think about giving back. So, I mean, it worked out. It worked out all around. So, yeah.
My notes tell me that you were on dialysis for 3 years.
Yes, sir.
As you said, you were transplanted at the Ohio State Medical Center
I like that.
October 8th, 2008. Do I have the date correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The day my life changed. The day my new life begun, as I stated in that Donate Life Ohio video. The day my new life begun. Yes, sir.
And your transplant has lasted you 13 years now?
Yeah, 13 years. Yes, sir. 13 years. And I would give you the days, but I don't want people to think I can't count. But I just celebrated
no,
my
I have
transplant
it. It's
anniversary
October 8th,
on October
2008. I
yes,
have
sir.
it. Don't worry about it.
Yes, sir. So,
And I understand this was a living donor?
No, deceased. Deceased donor.
My bad.
I would like to. No. Deceased donor. Leanne saved my life. Who, when she was asked to become a registered organ and tissue donor, she said yes. So I'm so thankful for her gift. Like, none of this would be possible without that gift. So she was a deceased donor. So yes, sir, she was a deceased donor. God rest her soul. And she's in me. She's in me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Can you tell us about some of the challenges that you faced as a kidney transplant patient?
Kidney transplant. I'll be honest with you. And that's what intrigues me to work with kids. The hardest part was just the fact of like my life that I had planned it to be was no more. Like I couldn't. I remember I used to go to the pool. Love going to the pools and taking my shirts off and stuff like that. And I couldn't do it because I had catheters in my chest, and everybody was starting to feel sorry for me. Like I said, I went from being like I said, single parent household, trying to like be that strength from my mom and my brother. And now everybody feeling sorry for me and stuff like that. And, it's one thing crazy, Jim, is people can't understand that pain of I lost. It was at a point where I was living. I kind of got caught up in what other people thought of me. Eddie Drake and all this other junk, football player, a college student. And once I lost all that, I was like, who am I? People wasn't calling, girls wasn't there checking on me anymore. Little stuff like that, little stuff that you take for granted. Like, I didn't have people, it's like, I kind of had to really reinvent, really learn who I was. I was like, I'm more than that. I was more than that in general. And that's when like I kind of really dug deep and tapped into my purpose. And I'm glad the Lord revealed that to me. And as I say, the man above like tore me down in order to build me up, tore me down on what I guess people had made me to be or what I thought in people's eyes, and kind of built me up into who he wanted me to be. So now I became, I became a lot more useful to help other people, because I wasn't, I kind of had lost everything that I thought I had, which in the end of the day, it wasn't nothing, because I lost it all. Any popularity or all other stuff. I kind of was it was only me and my family in that dialysis center. So that was one of the toughest part, was just like the emotional side of that. And, I still got a fraternity that I wanted to pledge, and, that I still would like to one day. But, yeah, not being able to do stuff like that, and, not being able to, some people are like, oh, you're just a jock. You ain't going to graduate. And they were right. Never thought what the Lord had in store for me later in life, but they were right. Like, I was like, man, I went to school. I came home. I'm just stuck in Toledo. I love my city, but I was like I said, I wanted to make a way for my family. I seen, my family struggling and this and that. And I wanted to make a better life. And I moved to Columbus, and I slept on my friend's floor on 8th Street. I forgot to add that. I slept on my friend's floor, and the rest is history. My mom didn't want me to leave, but I moved to Columbus on faith while I was on dialysis. I switched dialysis centers from Fresenius in Toledo to Columbus. And slept on my friend's floor on the Ohio State campus, and the rest was history. Because I stepped out on faith, man. I knew I wasn't going to like just be just the person who just came back home and just, you know what I mean, didn't become nothing. You know what I mean? So
Right. And I want to point out something else too, so people understand.
Mhm.
You went back to school and got your degree, right?
Yes, sir. I finished my nonprofit management certification. Like I said, I'm still a few credits with away from my degree, you know, because of I mean, while I wasn't in trying to go back and finish, you know, you would get sick and I would have to drop classes and stuff like that. So you know, like credits ain't transferred, this and that. So I'm a few credits away, but I will finish that. But I did go back and receive my nonprofit management certification, which I made the dean list for the first time ever in that program. I believe that it was like 8 classes, and we did our capstone. We did our capstone. Catch this out, Jim. We did Uncle Jim. We did our capstone. My team did our capstone project on the Why Not Foundation, and I mean that's crazy.
Excellent.
So it was like grown people, amazing talent, people that was just interested in nonprofit, you know, and for me to they still invited me to come back at Columbus State and be a guest lecturer, you know, and that's amazing, Jim. If I tell you, like, man, just a test equals a testimony, and I mean, if I never made the dean list ever, and you know, now you know, I got my stuff on the wall. I got my stuff on the wall, like my missus. She got her big old thing on the wall. You know, her big old. I won't say what type of degree it is, but she got it up on the wall, and I got mine up proudly too. So yeah, so it all worked out, or it's all working out, Jim.
Great. I want to give people your website while I'm thinking about it.
Uh-huh.
You can find Edwin's Foundation at https://whynot.org. So, you know, make sure that you check them out. Now, you were talking to us about beginning your advocacy, visiting with children and the kids in the hospital, and that this resulted in a change in attitude. Tell us, what sorts of things does the Why Not Foundation do for children? What examples can you give us?
Wow, this is the fun part. So this is the fun. This the passion. This the fiery. But I hate talking about myself, believe it or not. But yeah, this is the fun stuff. And salute to all my team. I want to give all my team members a shout out from it's too many to name, and I don't not want to like forget somebody. But y'all know you are Team Why Not, baby. We're in the building. But we provide support for pediatric transplant patients and promote health and wellness and prevention in the community, and also promote increase awareness about organ and tissue donation. So in short, and I'm going to charge as I talk to you and charge plug my phone up. I got to find my charger, but it must be downstairs. But in short, we host like support groups for pediatric transplant patients. Of something that we call Circle of Hope. So we bring kids together and we talk about various issues on body image. You know, how to stay focused while you're going through tough circumstances. So we talk about a whole bunch of issues that affect pediatric transplant patients, and we also give out things such as like gas cards, and we do our holiday drive, which we're actually doing now. If you want to support, please go to whynot.org and support our holiday drive. We'll be in like at least 5 or 6 different states: Michigan, Ohio, Georgia, California,
Washington, D.C.
Yeah, Washington, D.C. Shout out to Austin. Shout out to Phil. Shout out to Victoria. Shout out to shout out just some of the ones who are helping out with that drive.
So we're referring to that annual holiday toy drive, and you and I are working on trying to get something together in Indianapolis as well with Riley's Children.
Yes, sir. Oh yeah, Uncle Jim. Yeah, I would love to. Yeah, we definitely look forward to that out in Indiana. So yeah, absolutely. So we've been doing that this is our 10th drive, and we just finished up our back to school drive, which we've been doing for probably equally as long. And we were out in like at least 4 or 5 different states, some of the same ones that I mentioned before. So we do stuff like that, and like I said, we host events such as like our Attorney for Causes, which we host youth flag football tournaments and health fairs, or youth flag football, or youth just any type of sporting event combined with the health fair that we promote health and wellness and prevention while also raising awareness about organ and tissue donation. Shout out to Phil. So so yeah, so and like I said, outside of promoting health and prevention, we're always as organ transplants. Many of our team members, we always promoting organ and tissue donation. Like I said, whenever someone asks why should I become an organ and tissue donor, I simply say, why not? So
Why not?
yes, sir.
I wanted to point out, Edward, you were talking about the support group. One of the things that's unusual about your support group with children is you also bring medical people in, right?
Yes, sir.
You have medical personnel that come in and talk to them.
Yes,
okay.
sir. And yes, sir. Sorry, I was looking for my charger. But yes, we bring medical staff to come in, and I always say our foundation is like the ear for the health physicians and the voice of the youth. Like I said, we've been on both sides. We've been in their seats. You know, some of us still are. You know, like is awaiting a life transplant, like within our organization. But we've also been on a professional side, on like trying to help create solutions and impact lives of people who have this issue. So so we definitely can talk with the doctor and kind of talk their language and stuff like that. So and let them know that we've been where you are and where you're trying to and where you and we are where many of them are trying to get to. So yeah, so we bring health physicians together, families, and yeah.
One of the cool things that the Why Not Foundation does, and it's one of the reasons I admire you so much. Children that have been hospitalized all of their lives. They obviously don't have. They're in the dark.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm trying to find my charger, so you gotta excuse me. You're getting a little dark tour.
Well, I'll talk to you. Look, they don't have academic credentials. They don't have degrees. They don't have high school diplomas. You help those children get credentials, degrees, diplomas. That's part of what the Why Not Foundation does. I just wanted to say I admire you very much for doing that. One of the other things that the foundation does with pediatric kidney patients is as they get older, the foundation helps them find employment. They help them find jobs, right?
Yes, sir. And I appreciate you bringing that up, because this is something that myself and our team is so passionate about. And you mentioned like what type of issues that that we kind of like faced, and even with once you get your transplant, everyone while you're awaiting, people are more sympathetic. But once you get your transplant, you're still thrust out into the world, and people don't care. They don't. When you go to apply for the same job as someone who's didn't have to go through some of those same situations as you, so they may look better on paper. I mean, the person usually who look better on paper are going to get that job, and they're not going to be like, oh, you don't have this master's degree because you spent most of your life on
in the hospital.
Yeah, in the hospital. And I was you wasn't. And when you're in that hospital, I'll be honest with you, the last thing you're thinking about is school. You're trying to survive. So and that was one of the painful things, because like, I mean, you're still getting like put up against people who's, like I said, they have to go through those challenges, and it's a tough world. So I know one of my goals was, and a lot of things we create a lot of things based on problems that we've went through, like, and that we try to find solutions and we figure that other people will probably go through a lot of those same problems. So we definitely we setting up programs to help give these kids jobs, because maybe they may not be able to go. Like I said, my job was to be an executive at Nike, but we're building something special here at Why Not, and other things that I'm involved in. So it all worked out. But I definitely want to give those kids and stuff like that. They know transplant. They know. I listen to some kids and they sound more knowledgeable than doctors. I'll be honest. I talk to some kids and they know about all these tests and all these, and like I go to the store now and I still read the before I buy something, I look on the side and see what ingredients in it, potassium, phosphorus, this and that. I still do that because we do that on dialysis, and who does that? It's like, and so yeah, so we basically trying to provide opportunities, man. Like, why not? Like I said, life ain't necessarily fair, but but it's okay. That's why people like us, like we exist, Jim. Like I said, you giving me this opportunity to promote what I'm doing, and I'm trying to meet myself and my team is trying to do the same to help impact the lives of definitely children. That's why we're passionate about children, because it's like you can't control what happens to you in life, but you definitely can control how you react to it. You can control your response. So that's all we're trying to do, Jim. Like I said, it's yeah, that's it. Trying to make a difference.
Something else that the Why Not Foundation does, you mentor a lot of pediatric kidney patients to help other child patients as they grow up.
Yes,
I mean,
sir.
you train other advocates, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's what we train. It's like I said, it's so much bigger than me. It's from the beginning. Sorry. Yeah. So it's about we, like I said, and I tell my team that we're a team, man. We're a team. Why not? You know what I mean? But yeah. So we train the young kids to like I said, mentor others to go out and be a blessing. Like one of my favorite hashtags, we're blessed to be a blessing, Jim. It's like we got to go back and give back. Like I said, when you have to be able to reach a hand and pull someone up. Like like when I was down, I wanted somebody to pull me up, and each one teach one. So I tell my team, you go back, we find a way to help whoever we can. I love my team members around the country. They always coming to me with ideas. I'd be like, man, execute what we already have, but they got so many ideas just to help people. And I mean, it's in the selfish world that we have nowadays, a lot of people don't think about helping, like helping people. It's like we're about like for self, and nothing wrong with living a nice lifestyle, nice life, all this other stuff. You know what I mean? In fact, I enjoy mine, but you still have to go back and why not give back? Why not impact lives? You know what I mean? Because one of my brother-in-law, it's crazy, Jim, and I would like to share this to the world. And I was talking to the missus yesterday about this. And I was like, my brother-in-law passed away. God bless his soul this summer. And I was talking to my sister as well. And I was like, when I went back, got this beautiful big old home, every stuff everywhere. But when he died, he was around my age, not too. But when he died, like the stuff is still where he left it. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy because when I went to the funeral and I'm there for my sister and stuff like that, I was telling my sister it's crazy because I was walking in the house and the stuff is still where you left it. And at the funeral, nobody didn't talk about none of the nice stuff that they had, but they would talk about the stuff that he did. So the stuff that he did and the stuff that how we can continue to keep his legacy. And that kind of was like the Lord reminded me that at the end of the day, when we're gone, none of that stuff mattered. Like my house, degrees, any of that other stuff that I got. But more so what we did for this world, what we, you know what I mean, what people are going to say to us when we laid up there, and that's kind of how I think, man. That's how I kind of think because we know we can be up there at any time, man. So that's kind of just how that's like my mindset just in life, like man, and seeing my brother-in-law land up there unexpectedly, you know what I mean. I said I want to be a man of a value and make a difference while I'm here, So
absolutely. One of the other things that the foundation does is that you help children. I'm thinking particularly of teenage children and their caretakers maintain compliance with their medical regimens, the medication regimens. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? What's that all about?
Yes, sir. And another important issue is adherence and compliance. Because a lot of times what the medical physicians talk to my team. Once you get your transplant, most people can you hear me?
Yeah, you're doing well.
Okay, great. Yeah, once people get their transplant, especially kids, which is why I love kids. But you think I'm healthy. I don't have to really listen no more. I'm living my life, and like I said, I'm living my life, and people don't know I'm a transplant patient. If I don't take my pills, I mean, it's like I'm gonna be right back. I understand, like if I don't take my pills, if I don't eat healthy, if I don't exercise, I'm gonna be right back where I was. You know what I mean? And I may be, even if I do all those things, I still may be right back where I was. But like a lot of kids, they have issues on taking their medications, and or consistently, they're like, oh, I'm already healthy, Ooh. Sorry, my dog is running around. She thinks it's time to play. It's Friday night. It's her turn.
My dog ate the phone.
Yeah. But Sorry, I lost my train of thought. She knocked my phone all
You
on
were
my hand. But
talking
yeah,
about
like
helping kids with their medication regimen and their caretakers.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, we basically try to encourage them on why they need to continue to, take their medication and be adhere. So rather pre or post transplant, they can keep their organs once they received it, and they can receive it, because a lot of times before you even get put on a transplant list, they want to know how compliant you are. So, and if you ain't compliant, I know a lot of patients who they didn't get their transplant or won't get a transplant because they're not compliant. So, we just try to help them with the adherence and compliance, and and also give them that motivation, because I mean it's so much like we go get lab work, like they checking so much within our body, and just like how that goes, like same thing with our emotional. You gotta, like, emotionally we go through a lot, like medically we go through a lot, in our professions we go through a lot. I mean, it never goes away, because I got my transplant, you got your transplant, but we still taking. I still got to take my pills. Actually, now it's 8 o'clock, but or 9 o'clock out here. But we still take medication today. I still go get my lab work. We still COVID going on. Which is great, having a party on a COVID night. I'm having a party with Uncle Jim on a Friday night during COVID. But like we're still, even though we transplanted, we're still transplant patients, and we're aware of that as adults.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us, at least as an adult, but kids sometimes don't understand that. Like, you're not healthy just because you are healthy, but you're not fully. You still got to do what you have to do, adhere to your doctor's orders, stay compliant so you can keep it, and also so you can live a life of live the healthiest life as possible. And that's kind of what it is.
Talk to us a little bit about the Why Not School Supply Program. What's that all about?
Oh, you're asking all the good questions.
Oh yeah.
Why not school supply? Well, like I said, I'm a team guy. I wish my teammates was in here with me. But yeah, we donate school and medical supplies to the various medical treatment facilities across the country. Like I said, not everyone has various background or various financial situations in those hospitals, and we just want to be a blessing. We just want to be a blessing to those kids, and also to those kids and those families. That's why, like I said, we give away like gas cards, and we host support groups. We try to give them. We're like a connection to resources. That's why our shirts, Why Not Connect, which we'll reveal more information later about it. But like, this is our support site, support network, and we just try to provide them as much support as possible. Rather, school supplies to try to make things easier for them when they go to school, them and their families easier for school. Rather, no matter their financial situation. Same thing with the holiday drive. Try to. We want everybody to have a great Christmas, and gifts don't make the Christmas family do, but gifts don't hurt. So we all love gifts, right?
Yeah. Well, if you're on dialysis, you're a child. It's nice to know somebody's thinking about you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just some of these medical facilities, like I said, I won't name it, but like different people, different backgrounds, and everybody don't have a mother at home. Like sometimes my heart breaks, and it encouraged me to continue to do it. Like continue to do what I've been doing for 13 years and counting. Is that not everyone in there have like a stable home. Everyone in there don't have like a Edward to talk to, or Uncle Jim to talk to, or Austin or Tafaro, or something like that, Victoria. No. So it's everyone comes from different backgrounds. So I mean, we just try to be there when we need it. We just try to be that light of hope. Not everyone need us. Not everyone need gas cards from us. Great, but we just here when you do. Not everybody needs support groups. Some people, like I said, they got great family structure. So and even if they got a great family structure, don't mean they don't need support. But some people don't have nothing, and that's what we're here. We're here for the people who got everything, and we're here for the people who got nothing. So.
Okay, we're in the home stretch, Judd. Awesome. Tell me, what are you doing? What are the people on your crew doing to protect themselves from COVID-19? What steps are you guys taking?
You want to see? We got our
Sure.
feet up right here. We got our feet up. We sitting at home, and we we having great conversations with amazing people like you, and working from home. And when we got to go out, we got our Why Not Save a Life mask. I should have had that. It's in my car. So you see,
All right.
I'm doing the right thing. I'm being compliant. It's in my car, so I always have it on me. But yeah, we're adhering to like I said, CDC guidelines to the best of our ability. Like I said if I'm gonna take risk, I'm gonna take risk giving back. So sometimes I do travel to go give away stuff, because I truly feel the Lord gonna protect me. Like I said, and if I go out giving back, if I gotta go out giving back, it's all good. Or helping somebody. If I gotta go out, that's the way I want to go out. But we really adhere to all the CDC guidelines. Try to stay out the way. Stay out the way and stay protected with our mask, and because we really don't know what's going on, and I can't say those in charge really know what's going on either. So
doesn't seem that way to me either.
So it's just, I stay prayed up, Jim. As a spiritual man, I stay prayed up, man. That's it.
That's good. All right.
Yes, sir.
Last question, Edward.
Last question. I thought we was gonna party all night. I thought like I said,
Well, I can ask questions, but it's Steve's network.
Jim, let me say this. I'm so comfortable with you, right? Like I said, I done walked. Like I said, I appreciate it. Like I said, it's a great Friday night, and once again, I know like being able to talk to you, my dog running around, dropping my chargers, my phone about to die, stuff. But I definitely, man, this has truly been awesome, and I mean, you're doing some amazing things, and hopefully, like I said, I appreciate you having us on, our team on. So.
No, you're doing amazing things, and I like talking to you.
All right.
Wow. Is there anything that you would like to discuss that we haven't talked about tonight with our audience? Is there anything I forgot, or
absolutely? Absolutely. I don't want to, like I said, nothing. I use this time, this moment that you're giving me to talk about, not talk about myself or talk about anything we got going on, but try to encourage people to register to become organ and tissue donors. Register to become organ and tissue donors. It's still so many people who out there waiting, like in those hospitals. I just went to the hospital a couple of days ago to get lab work, and I mean, it's people stuck up in there, and and it pains my heart, because every time I go in there, I just be like, thank you, Lord, I get to leave. I get to go get blood work done. Fingers be crossed that they don't call me back. Usually, no news is good news. So, but it's still people in there suffering, man, and I mean, suffering from a lot of different things, but it's a lot of people out there who are waiting their organ transplants. And just because COVID is here, it don't mean 100,000+ people isn't still waiting their new gift of life. So I definitely want to encourage everyone to register to become a organ and tissue donor today. Why not? Also, I just want to encourage people to utilize, to give back and help others, and that's simply, like you speaking with me, and why not? Our foundation is just a vehicle the Lord has blessed me and my team members to give back. But, like we all can give back in various ways, like I said, and, whatever way you're led to give back, just help somebody, you know what I mean? Just help somebody and try to make a difference. Why not? Because truly, I'm telling you, like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, once you're gone, I mean, that's all they're going to remember you by anyway. So all this money and all this stuff, like I said, it's great. Like I said, I got a lot of nice things, but at the end of the day, that stuff at the end of the day, it ain't going to matter, man. So why not give back? Why not make a difference? Why not impact lives? Why not brighten a child's day? Yeah, so I think I threw enough slogans out there. So yeah, just why not make a difference, man? Why not be the light you hope to see in the world? Like I said, yeah, and I got a quote, Jim. Adversity plus faith plus perseverance equals a purpose and life testimony. And that's my personal quote, because adversity, right? All the adversity that I went through in life, kind of made me, it made me who I am. But the faith helped me overcome all the adversity. The faith that, growing up in a single parent household, that I still can be great. I still can go to school and I could still achieve these things. My faith, or when I got sick with kidney failure. You know, like being in the hospital, I knew that my faith knew that I was going to get my donor at some point. You know, even when it seemed bleak, that I was going to overcome that. Mercy plus faith plus faith. Then you persevere through it, and sometimes you persevere through it by trying to, like I said, finding the good. You know, finding the good in a bad situation. You know, like I said, we give these bracelets. My shirt's so tight that I'm trying to show you my bracelet, but we give these bracelets out called "Why Not Brighten the Child's Day." Literally, my shirt is super tight. I would like to say I've been working out. That's why my shirt tight, but it's not. But you know, but hold on 1 second. Let me show you my bracelets. But yeah, I got a bracelet. It's on the wrong side.
There it is.
But yeah, it's on the wrong side. But it say "Why Not Brighten the Child's Day" and it glows in the dark. And we give these to all the families and patients. See, Jim? See, where you at? You're in Indiana.
Yeah.
I'm in Georgia, and I'm in Georgia, and like all the kids around the country that we work with have them. And the concept behind our glow in the dark bracelets that I tell these kids, we tell these kids, is that in your darkest moments, you're always shining. And you know, like the rain don't last forever, storm don't last forever. You know, like you just gotta sometimes you gotta just ride it out, and you know, and your test equals a testimony. So that's why I said perseverance, and then you know what I mean equals a purpose. And all this, Jim, if I wouldn't have been obedient when the Lord said, "Why me?" and the "why not" came out of that "why me," and if I wouldn't have been obedient, like I said, I passed up so many opportunities to make a lot of money, Jim. And I did pretty well in different stuff, but this has been my passion. I passed up a lot of money to really focus solely on this for the most part, you know. And I don't take a salary. I don't, you know what I mean, because I'm blessed in other ways. But I don't take a salary. I do it at this point just because it's part of my calling. It's part of my purpose, and to put smiles on people's faces. So a test equals a testimony, man. And I'll be honest, like adversity plus faith plus perseverance equals a purpose and a life testimony. Now I got a life testimony, and like I said, most importantly, it's my legacy. I get to leave a legacy, and you know that'll live on way past. Like I tell my team, like I said, we're in here to build a legacy. If you're part of Why Not, you got to be thinking about building a legacy, because everything else that we may acquire monetarily or travels, all that stuff gonna go away, but your legacy going to live on forever. Your legacy, build something that will outlive you. And I tell my team that's what we're building. We're building something that will outlive us. And I mean, that's it. So why not give back? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I could talk all night, Jim. I'm just getting in my flow. But no, I appreciate you, man.
Well,
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you coming on, Ed, and what an amazing interview. Just really, really good stuff. Learned a lot tonight. So I thank you for coming on. I want to let our audience know that I'll be back on again the last Friday in November. And I have Holly Bodie and her group from the American Kidney Fund is going to talk to us a little bit about some of their initiatives. And a big, big thanks to our good friend, Edward, Mr. Why Not Drake. And I'm looking forward to working with you on that project with Riley's Children down in Indianapolis.
Absolutely. Why not impact lives, right, Jim?
Why not
impact lives?
All right.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Everybody have a blessed night. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right.
All right, everybody. Great interview tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll get a chance to talk to you soon. Bye-bye.